Our happy hour with the Cardinals continues live from Minsky's Pizza in Liberty, and the happy hour goes from 5 to 7 o'clock the third Tuesday of every month. Next month is going to be a little bit interesting. It'll be our first home men's basketball game on the night of happy hour with the Cardinals, and so we'll have our happy hour here, but our live radio show will be originating from courtside before we do the television coverage of the Cardinals and Missouri Western. We'll have more about that as we get a little bit closer. I want to introduce you to someone who I've come to know here over the last year. Sabrine Navarro is a senior at William Jewell, a tennis player who is done with eligibility now, and so she's kind of sticking around, finishing up her degree, but one of the brighter people I've come across, and very charming also. From Melbourne, Australia, here's Sabrine Navarro. Welcome.
Hi, thanks. It's great to be here.
It's good to have you here. Miss tennis at all now that you're done playing?
Yes, sort of. A lot of people, when they're done with college sports, they're usually a little reminiscent about that. But when people ask me, "Are you going to miss college sports at all?" I'd be like, "Well, this is the end of my college tennis career. It's not the end of my tennis career. So hopefully down the track, I'll compete in some pro tournaments. I'll have to put the work in first, but I'm just waiting to finish my degree first, like we said." But after school, hopefully that's one of the things on the plan, to tick off a pro tournament and see how far I get.
Yeah.
So I don't really miss tennis at all because, I'm still dreaming and thinking about it.
How hard are you working at it right now? Are you working out daily or?
Well, over the past summer, I actually took a break from tennis, which was really relieving because it was the first time I was able to really take a step back and, recollect and revise what my goals were for tennis. And so I've come back this semester coaching, but I've been able to work with the tennis team, training with them and kind of getting a little bit of a hit in when I can and when they're not training so hard. So I take the opportunity of using the tennis team as my resource to train a little bit more. But I've kind of worked on my body and my physical aspect of my game and my fitness rather than the tennis part. And so when I have a little bit more time after school, I'll jump right back in.
And you do want to play in some pro tournaments at some point?
I do. I've been playing this sport for over 13 years now. So I feel like this investment that I put in these 13 years are going to be, it'd be a little bit of a waste if I don't try and see how far I get when I go into a pro tournament. So it's been on the bucket list for a while now, and hopefully I'll tick that off eventually in the future.
Sabrine Navarro is our guest. You have a fascinating account, and you've talked about your trip because coming from Melbourne, you started your collegiate tennis at Chicago State before you came here. Tell me, and just in summary, would you tell us a little bit about that trip from Melbourne, Chicago State to Liberty, Missouri?
Yeah, getting recruited to Chicago State was an absolute dream. It was a Division I school, and so that was my main criteria to get into college tennis, mostly because my coach, who had previously done college tennis in his time, told me that Division I was the top of the top. But at Chicago State, I played some Division II schools and even NAI schools where their skill level was just phenomenal. And so at Chicago State, I was lucky enough to get a year and a half in there, and I was looking for a different school, a little bit more academically focused, and so that's where I got an email from Paul Rostel, the head coach at William Jewell. So he said, why don't you come on over? We'd love to have you. And I thought, well, of course, why not? Because I've seen these Division II schools that they can compete just as hard as the Division I schools. So anywhere, like I said, anywhere in America is a good enough competition for me. So playing international tennis is a great opportunity, and that's what I got out of my career at Chicago State and here at William Jewell.
Scary? Was it scary to come to Chicago State, come to Missouri, all that kind of stuff?
A little bit. It was my first time traveling alone. Every other place that I've traveled outside of Australia was with my family, so it was a very big step. It was almost like moving out of your house at 18, but the house is halfway across the world. I was timid at first, but I really gained that independence really quick, and I really loved just trying to grow up and learn things on my own. And it's just like throwing yourself in the deep end and, trying to teach yourself how to swim. And I just like that challenge of trying to get out there and make a name for myself on my own.
Right. Sabrine Navarro graduates in December from William Jewell, and then I know you've got several options, but I want to talk to you a little bit about because you seem like a very kind person. I know you are, but I mean, to all of these folks, you seem quiet and reserved, but I know there's got to be a real competitor inside of you. Tell me about when does that competitor come out?
It mostly comes out usually in tennis because that's the main place where I would show my competitiveness. But that was the main stage. But the other stages would be in schoolwork and in life actually, because I always strive to get better and improve, and I'm never satisfied with just being okay, and I have no satisfaction in my life. So I always I always try and improve on everything. And I usually get that from my parents and in my family. They always taught me that good enough is not, close enough is not good enough. So I always learned to really, really strive for above average, at least above my average. And so that's why I'm such a competitor in everything I do and everything I put my mind to.
All right, so did you learn that through athletics to be competitive in other phases of life, or did you bring that to athletics?
Athletics definitely helped. I definitely learned it from my parents first before athletics. Athletics was just a way, athletics was just, it kind of just matured and it developed into the person that I am now. So competitiveness, I learned that from my parents. It matured through athletics, and I'm so thankful for that right now. So I couldn't be any more happy with the place I am right now. So I will be competitive for the rest of my life. I don't see myself backing down anytime soon.
Well, I'm going to tell these folks about what happened this morning. Sabrine works on our production team, and because she is a great worker and she does great, we're trying to expand her horizons before you walk out of here in December. So she did an interview this morning with the assistant tennis coach. It was wonderful. You did a great job, and I told you this already. She'll be editing it, and it'll be online. But what was that experience like for you to actually be in front of the camera and do an interview this time?
It was actually really, really nerve-wracking. I have never really interviewed someone on camera, and a lot of people think that the interview aspect is the easy part, but when they put a camera in front of your face and say act normal and just be fine and just carry on a conversation, my heart starts to race a little bit, and I really bank on the person I'm interviewing to speak a lot, or else it's going to be very difficult. But
kind of like what I'm doing right now, right?
A little bit. But it went very well, and I'm very thankful that Adam, we've developed a relationship over the past semester that we're comfortable to talk back to back with each other and carry on a serious conversation. So I really enjoyed it, and hopefully that's the first of many interviews that I will do in the future.
Well, I don't doubt it. Your work was good, and again, folks, you can see it online, and we're going to even edit it. I think, Thursday or something, you're going to be editing
Thursday.
it? So Sabrine will be doing that. It'll be online. Sabrine, thank you so much. Your story is fascinating, and boy, I wish you the best.
Thank you, Rick.
Sabrine Navarro has been our guest here. Happy Hour with the Cardinals will continue in a moment. Mark Gold, the sixth-year head swimming coach at Jewell, will be our guest in a moment.